Hi everybody, Dacob here. Welcome back to the Fashion Bunker. Lena Nair, the president or CEO of Chanel, is at it again, y'all. Chanel has released its earnings from 2023, and a lot of news outlets have been reporting about this. Now, Chanel is a privately owned company, not a publicly owned company, so they do not have shareholders that they have to answer to, meaning Chanel doesn't have to deliver quarterly earning reports. So bear that in mind for later, because all of the public companies have reported their first quarter earnings for 2024. Not the best numbers, but Chanel doesn't have to do that. Chanel just reported 2023. Okay. As far as 2023 is concerned, we got Business of Fashion, a WWD reporting, and you guys have been amazing. Go follow me on superdacob backup, my Instagram account, because everybody's been tagging me underneath those posts saying, Dacob, what's your opinion on this? What's your opinion on this? And I have answered to you guys underneath those particular Business of Fashion, WWD posts. So Business of Fashion posted, Chanel sales rise 16% to $20 billion. Let's talk about this and what my opinions are. But first, subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Push the join button next to the subscription button. Become a member today. Gain access to extra perks. You can also join me on Patreon, Super Dacob, all spelled together there as well for extra perks. This video is being filmed live in front of a live virtual audience. I live stream several times a week. Come join the fun. Come join the chats. Hello to my co-chatters in the sidebar. Also, everything I say in this video is for entertainment purposes only, not rooted in truths or facts. Everything's alleged and just my opinion. Business of Fashion writes, Chanel's revenues rose 16%, excluding currency shifts, to $19.7 billion in 2023. The French luxury house said on Tuesday. Price increases, we're going to get back to the price increases, drove up sales by around 9%, while greater volumes accounted for the rest. Greater volumes. They're producing more and more. Gee, Chanel, you're becoming more and more like H&M, fast fashion, huh? Demand for Chanel's quilted leather handbags, Swiss-made watches, and Bleu de Chanel fragrances held strong across categories throughout the year, even as demand slowed sharply for many luxury rivals. Double-digit growth across all categories continued into the final quarter of 2023, where we delivered a top-line growth of 14%, Blondieu said, he's one of the directors of Chanel. Operating profits rose 11% to $6.4 billion. The record sales and profits represent a testament to the desirability of Chanel's creations and the sustained investment we've made in our brand, in creating the ultimate luxury experience for our clients, and in supporting our people to grow and develop. Chief Executive Lena Nair told Business of Fashion. Even when they quote her, it sounds so BS. Like, I can't take one word this person says as truthful. I cannot, allegedly. Now, the comments underneath Business of Fashion's Instagram post and WWD's Instagram post, oh, the comments are delicious. People are writing like, yeah, you still suck. I still don't like you. Your quality has been terrible lately, since a while now. People have been like speculating like, oh, you double-digit growth in 2023, it's because you increased your prices. You're covering up. Like, the numbers are cooked, allegedly. The numbers are cooked. It's a privately owned company, so you don't, blah, blah, blah. So anyway, people have been tagging me underneath these posts, and I replied. And one of the replies I wrote was this: congratulations to Lena Nair and her team for making more money. In my opinion, turning and twisting numbers is an art form that they excel at, allegedly. Quality is not something they excel at, also allegedly. And 2023 revenue-wise was still okay for most brands in the luxury sector. The public brands already reported their first quarter earnings of 2024, while Chanel, being private, has not. Indeed, it is 2024 where the game gets interesting. We shall just have to wait and see. Exciting times up ahead. Vogue did an interview with Lena about this current reporting by Chanel of their earnings of 2023. Vogue calls it Unstoppable Chanel. CEO Lina Nair on doubling revenue in a decade. Let's see what Lina has to say this time. And actually, this article is more about all of the game players at Chanel kind of giving their sauce, giving their little 2 cents about the situation. Chanel plans to expand its retail footprint in 2024, following a positive year in which it buked the wider luxury slowdown to report double-digit growth. The French luxury house's revenues grew by 16% year-on-year to $19.7 billion in 2023 on a comparable basis at constant currency. Chanel is the second largest luxury brand globally behind Louis Vuitton, whose sales surpassed $22 billion euro in 2023. It's a testament to the desire for Chanel creation and the sustained investment we have made in our clients in creating the ultimate luxury experience for our clients and in supporting our people to grow and develop, said Chanel's global CEO Lina Nair on a call with Vogue Business on Tuesday. It's like she says these things that are just, you just go, oh my God, what did she say again? Oh, that's so mechanical, so lifeless. Oh, oh my God, it's so heavy. It's such a burden every time. Anyway, she goes on, says, the performance in 2023 follows a period of unprecedented growth. In the last decade, we have more than doubled our revenue and more than doubled our headcount. In the last 5 years, we doubled the size of our distribution network. It's like listening to an AI. And I can't help but every time I read quotes by her, I kind of always hear her saying it in her voice. It's so funny. I can't get her voice out of my head, like, the voice and everything. Angie says in the chat, ChatGPT prepared the script, right? Oh my God, it's so annoying. Nothing about quality, none of that. It's just money. We did double money. We did double growth. We did money. We employed more people. We're expanding the business. I'm like, yeah, I get it, H&ML. The Chanel, H&ML. I get it, allegedly. Okay. Nair, who joined Chanel from Unilever in January 2022, said highlights last year included the Métier d'Art fashion show in Manchester, the launch of 31 Le Rouge, a refillable lipstick in a glass case priced at €165, and the Tweed de Chanel high jewelry collection presented at the British Museum in London. Huh? Sorry, I fell asleep there, Lena. Sorry, I missed that whole last part. Anyway. Chanel's growth places it among top performers, including Hermès, whose sales grew 21% in 2023, and blah, blah, blah. Where's the other? I need more quotes here. By region, Chanel's growth in 2023 was led by Asia Pacific, up 21.6%, followed by Europe, up 16.4%, and the Americas, 2.4%. So America is really slowing down. Sales increased in all markets with double-digit growth across all categories. And momentum carried into the final quarter, said Philippe Blondiau, global CFO, who was also on the call. On trading in China, which has proved a challenging market for luxury to navigate over the past year, Blondiau said, there's a kind of redistribution of the Chinese luxury consumption. The Chinese consumers went back to their pre-COVID traveling patterns, which means that while we're still successful with our Chinese clientele, growth is happening outside of China to a very large extent, more in Europe and in Japan than in mainland China. Okay. Blondiau also noted that the role of Chanel's price rises. They call them price rises, not increases. Oh, rises in price rise. No, did they write this wrong? It's not about the price rise. It's about their earning. Well, anyway, quote, the breakdown of the 16% top line growth we had in 2023 was 9% pricing and 7% volume, more or less, he explained. Now, this is an interesting point because this is not something we talk about a lot. The breakdown of their earning, right? They said of the rise. like the big numbers that they made, the breakdown of the 16% growth was 9% pricing and 7% volume. So 9 plus 7 is 16. You see how they're cooking the numbers here? What does this even mean? Are you telling us that of the 16% growth that you had in 2023, 9% of that growth was due to your price increases? And 7% growth was the volume that you sold? I don't have a business major, so I don't know if I'm analyzing this correctly. So please correct me if I'm wrong in the chats or in the comment section later on underneath this video. But if you tell me, Blondial noted that the role of Chanel's price rises was, quote, the breakdown of the 16% price rise, that growth in 2023, top line growth we had in 2023 was 9% pricing and 7% volume. This to me means your price increases allowed 9% of growth, and the 7 remaining percent of growth was due to the amount of products you sold. And in fact, right after that, they say Chanel typically increases prices every March and September. It's simply reflecting 2 points. And here we go again. They're drilling us from Chanel, telling us that the only reason that they are increasing their prices is to keep up with inflation. Chanel, how come your price increases are higher than the inflation rate then, if you are keeping up with inflation? Why are your price increases higher than the inflation rate? A. And B, he goes on to say that we increased prices in March in a range of 0 to 6%. I'm like, so 0% on certain items, up to 6% for the classics. Make it make sense, Chanel. If you're increasing your prices according to the inflation, why are certain products not increased in price at all? If you're telling me that you need to increase your prices because of inflation, then why are you only increasing the prices on your classics and not on your seasonal pieces? Well, he doesn't say seasonal pieces. He says, we've done it in March of this year. We may do it in the second part of this year, depending on how these two factors, inflation and currencies, fluctuate. Harmonization of prices is their second reason for price increases. They say they want to keep the price harmonized across all countries. It's still not harmonized. There's still a price discrepancy, but they're never going to adjust the prices to go down. They're always going to adjust them higher and higher and higher. To be fair, they did adjust downwards in China back in 2015. But since then, I haven't seen them do that again. But that's just because in 2015, they upped like 15 to 20% their prices in Europe to come closer to the Chinese prices back then. Some of us have been around for a minute and have been analyzing this for decades. So bear with me. So he says, we've done it in March. We might do it again. The two factors, we might increase the prices again in September. Are we going to increase the prices in September? I don't know. He says it depends on the two factors, inflation and currencies. On handbags, we increased prices in March of 2024 in a range of 0 to 6% depending on the types of handbags. 6% was more for the iconic range and 0% in some other types of novelty. So first you're telling me you have to increase the prices according to inflation and currencies, but now you're telling me your price increase depends on the types of handbags. So your price increase doesn't depend on the inflation, it depends on the type of handbag you're selling. In other words, what you're telling me here, Mr. Thing, is that you increase the prices for those products that sell better. Not because of inflation. It's just because you can. You're greedy. In other words, allegedly. You're greedy. Okay, call a spade, Chanel. Please, I'm sick and tired of this. I can't believe they keep selling this crap to us over and over and over again in every single interview. How dumb do you think we are? Amid rumors of a change in creative direction, the executives praised creative director Virginie Viard's collections. Virginie is a very inspiring woman. It's absolutely fabulous to see the creation magic of creators like Virginie. The creation magic? Crickets? Anybody? Crickets? I get feedback from clients all the time about this. Okay, no, you guys, this is Lina Nair. Where, Lina? Where do you get feedback from clients all the time? Okay, so Lina, Virginie is a very inspiring woman. It's absolutely fabulous to see the creation magic of creators like Virginie. I get feedback from clients all the time about the silhouette, the fit, and how beautiful the clothes are landing for our clients, Nair said. Blondieu added, since Virginie took over as a designer of Chanel fashion, more or less in 5 years, and last year alone, the Chanel ready-to-wear business grew by 23%. Ugh. Angie in the chat says, would they start saying the profits of the classic pieces are used to offset the aspirational pieces so everyone can have a piece of the magic of Chanel? They just keep repeating the same stuff. It's like robots talking. Oh my God, this is really... Chanel said it plans to increase its capital expenditure by 50% in 2024 with more real estate and retail investments following a second capital expenditure at over $1.2 billion in 2023 relating to the distribution network, notably the opening of the twin boutique in Milan and the reopening of the flagship boutique in Beverly Hills. The brand's operating profit rose by 10.9% to $6.4 billion in 2023. Nair said, we are a $20 billion business today, and it's because we've always stayed faithful to our fundamentals. You're making it sound like your fundamentals were greed. Why is nobody talking about quality or lack thereof? Why am I not? What's your fundamental, Lina? What? Making money? Girl, the audacity. Building the design of a legitimate brand which means exciting creation, exciting collections, new campaigns, like the latest Bleu de Chanel with Timothée Chalamet film directed by Martin Scorsese, creating the ultimate luxury experience for our clients. Honey, watching Timothée Chalamet in one of the most boring ads of the last 20 years is not an exciting luxury experience for me. Could not be further from it, actually. Seriously. Building the design of a legitimate brand, she says, which means exciting creation, exciting collections. Exciting collections, Lena? Did we or did we not just watch the most depressing Chanel fashion show to ever have hit the runway, which was at the top of a building in Marseille for the cruise Marseille collection, under the rain, gray clouds, sadness galore. The clothes looked terrible. Humble opinion only, my humble opinion only. And you're talking about exciting shows? I mean, I guess if you've worked for Unilever your whole life, everything after that is exciting to you. But again, Lena, all you're showing me through these comments is that you have no clue about Chanel. You're doing numbers, you're doing money, you're doing earnings, you're doing profits, you're doing numbers, you're doing money, you're doing earnings, you're doing profits. But you have no clue about creativity. You have no clue about style. You have no clue about what the heritage of the brand is. So please, zip it. Talk about money, but don't embarrass yourself talking about, oh, this and that. Come on, Lena, please. Thank God, okay, we don't work for you. And there's freedom of speech in this world, in some countries. And so we get to speak our mind. I wonder if people who have been working for Chanel, the brand, for years and decades before Lena came, while Carl was at the helm as artistic director. I wonder if those people are scared to say anything. If they just keep it zipped and smile, very corporate. Corporate doesn't want to know your opinion. If your opinion is constructive criticism, they don't want it. You zip it if you want to progress in the company. Otherwise, they're going to just label you as complicated. Well, we are complicated here in the bunker because we're honest and we speak our mind. We might be uncomfortable for the corporations, but we speak from the heart. And what I'm saying is, I want Chanel to do well. I want Chanel to have the exciting fashion shows, the creativity, the pizzazz, the flair. I want that magic that Chanel used to have. I want it back for Chanel, and I want it back also for me as a customer. But at the moment, Chanel has none of that. So, to me, for me, in my opinion only. So, quit the crap, Lena. Come on. Please. Maybe it works for your minions who work for you, or they're used to always saying yes to you so you can use your AI talk with them. Doesn't work with the rest of the world who's not scared to voice their opinion. Chanel, which is owned by Alain and Gérard Wertheimer and started publishing its earnings in 2018, has been subject to several IPO rumors, like to selling the brand, over the years. But Nair, who sought to put the rumors to rest in an interview with the Financial Times last year, reiterated, "There's no IPO on the table. We are privileged to be independent." The more she says it, the less I believe her. Like, really. Tomate Papaya says, "Shut up, do as we say and look grateful while you do it," is what corporate expects from employees. Completely. Completely. Mahora says, "I think they write stuff for her to say, and she just memorizes it and repeats it like a parrot." I mean, it sounds like that, really. Like, I don't know what else to tell you guys. It's debilitating to say the least. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's debilitating to say the least. And just to touch base, and people are not stupid, you guys. You know, let's go to the Business of Fashion Instagram post and let's, 182 comments. One of them is mine. Somebody says, "Well, when you hike up the prices of the bags at such an alarming rate, of course it's going to show a growth in profit. Notice it said bags, watches, perfume, nothing about ready to wear." Somebody else says, "Did they do a 16% increase on prices?" That was the joke because they did a 16% growth in 2023. So this lady says, "Oh, 16% growth? Is it because you increased your bag prices 16%? Haha." Somebody else says, "They're private, so they self-report, right? If they're self-reporting, I can't imagine they would reveal a loss in profits." Well, I don't know how much it's legal to trick the numbers if you're a privately owned company. Somebody else says, "Yeah, because their bag prices are out of control. I doubt they are selling a lot more units in their established categories, like handbags, clothing, and shoes. Most of the growth has come in the form of price increase." Somebody else is seeing through the BS. Somebody else says, "This is not about being a hater or not a hater. I think deep down we all love the brand, but I think the blatant price increases is truly a slap in the face and taking advantage of customers. The quality and design innovation is just not there. If you own past season Chanel, you know this is true. Disappointing that Lena Nair refuses to acknowledge the dip in quality. I, for one, see more ROI on buying vintage Chanel rather than brand new." There you go. Somebody commented in French. Let me translate. Yes, it's all about bags, accessories, and perfumes, even some watches, but never ready to wear, right? We understand DC needs to stay because they understand the largest ready-to-wear market is in the US for these very, very mature women. Sorry, I almost forgot the nearly 100% increase in prices on major bag models since 2019. Somebody else says, oh, look, people paying a lot more for lower quality bags is giving them good results. Woohoo! Somebody else says 16% growth with none of my help because I'm Poe. That's a good one. Somebody else is asking, I Deserve Couture to pitch in, and I Deserve Couture pitched in and said, good for them. If it works, that's great. It still doesn't change my opinion about the brand, and an opinion he does have, and he does not like what he's seeing at the moment. Oh, look, Jerusha Couture in the chats as well. Jerusha, how's it going, sweetie? She brings into the conversation Maddie Shops. And she says, all because of you, babes. And Maddie also has a YouTube channel. And because Maddie buys a lot of, well, not a lot, but she buys Chanel pret-a-porter clothing, you know. And so Jerusha, I guess, is making a joke about that. Anyway. Strangely, only some of the increased profit is as a result of price hikes. Other elements include higher volume from what the summary states. How can this be? Despite what the influencers say about the quality, they are not the demographic Chanel is targeting. If the ultra-wealthy don't mind the decline in quality and are able to stomach the price rises, then the boom for Chanel continues. Weird. Maybe the unraveling will play out in the 2024 numbers. I think so, unless they decide not to disclose them again. You know. That very curious, since many representatives have told me their sales are down, says somebody else, and are offering incentives to fashion advisors to sell more bags. Somebody else says they rose up prices for almost 200% and the sales increased 16%. Either try to fool people or fool themselves. Somebody else says, Chanel is fashion. It's not just a brand created for business. Chanel represents a soul, a style that can be recognized by a crowd of 1,500 people. That's its strength. No other brand has managed to have such a strong visual identity as Chanel. I think Chanel is still living off of its golden era of Karl Lagerfeld, you know. And the memory of his fashion at Chanel is still very active and present in the world, but as the memory of him starts fading, oh, trust you me, so will this magic of Chanel. They better step it up, because they're not going to live off of old glories forever. Forget about it. You know. Oh, somebody else comments something very interesting. Somebody else says, relax. I'll give you another piece of news. The success isn't due to Virginie Viard, but to the quiet luxury that continues to appeal. Soon, though, Chanel will wake up from the dream, and for the brand, it will be only nightmares. The shade. This is a really good comment. Random thought. Just like hot dogs. Just because it sells doesn't mean it's pretty or good for you. You know what? This is the one. This is the comment that takes the cake for me. This comment deserves to be pinned at the top of everything. That's period. I mean, it cannot. I could not have said it better myself. Just because a hot dog sells so much doesn't mean it's pretty and don't mean it good for you. So let me know your thoughts and prayers down below. Thumb up this video, subscribe, and until next time, I reiterate everything I said in this video was alleged and just my opinion, not rooted in truths or facts. Until next time, never forget to never give up on love. Love you loads. Bye. Comments down below.